GSL.
2014 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Round 16 Sue versus Trap.
We got that down, man. We know exactly what game this is, what time it is.
Yeah, I was expecting him to like tell me
we need to know whether or not it was a full moon when this game was played.
It's like what the current president of Zimbabwe is at this period in time.
Zimbabwe. Does Zimbabwe actually have like the lowest currency
I think
in the
so,
world?
yes.
Is that correct?
I think so, yes. It's like $1 is worth like so much over there.
It's worth
or
an
something.
insane amount.
Yeah, I think
they
that's
tried to
correct.
cancel the national debt in Zimbabwe a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know what their method was.
Well, I think that was like one of the problems, right? It was like a bunk method.
Of course, like
the president was just like, no, it's done. I'm like, well,
I mean, if
I don't know
if you do that,
how does that work? Actually, canceling a national debt.
Well, I think you just inflate your currency, then your currency becomes the least valuable currency in the world, like or even further.
Well, no, that's currency. But how do you cancel? I don't know.
No, it's
I don't
not.
know. This
It's
is
not
something I don't
simple
actually
as,
know
like,
about. I only know about currencies that don't matter, like StarCraft. Currencies that won't help the world.
It's simply not as easy as canceling a Nexus.
Yes, it's not that simple.
Press an escape key. That's all you need.
Like, well, you mine the gold minerals. Like, okay. So on this map, one of the reasons why Protosses tend to pick this is there's a lot of ways to control the circulation and the flow for the Zerg on this map. Since the Zerg always wants to be an expansion ahead, the Protosses' primary goal is just to and then there's many ways to beat the Zerg here, but the most common one, the most orthodox approach and safest, is to just keep even on bases with the Zerg and keep shutting down, the fourth base, or if you're both on four bases, shut down the fifth base, because the Zerg functionally has to keep in a lead on expansion acquison.
Yeah, because
or he falls behind. That's actually why these Stargate openers are so damn hard for the Zergs nowadays.
It really messes with your larva mechanics as well. Like, for example, the probe came over here, and because of what happened in Game 1 with the cannoning, Sue was going to go double hatch before pool, but as soon as he saw the probe, he was like, well, that's too risky, and then he started a spawning pool, so even the scout gives him that little extra edge. But you have to think about the reason why Zerg has to stay up one hatchery is because it's not just economy, but it's also production. It's like, think you have to, if you're watching this show a little bit newer, think about the fact that the hatchery is the nexus and the gateways, basically, all in one.
I'm assuming that we're just going to see the Stargate tech here. Do you think we're going to see anything
I thought we might see a robo, but
I wouldn't mind seeing a robo build either.
We didn't really see anything like that yesterday, for example.
There are a lot of good timings for the Protoss on this map. Because of the rocks, there's so many different ways you could screw up what's going on for the Zerg.
We've seen a lot of players figure out kind of how to slow down the Immortal push by killing the collapsible rock tower, so it got a little bit less powerful, but only time will tell. He's making a Stalker. And he's going to like walk across the map with all this, looks like.
We're still waiting to see the specific tech so far here from the Protoss, which is really going to give us a lot more to talk about. So in the meanwhile, I got a question for you, Wolf. Are clowns scary?
Not inherently, but like if there's a clown, for example, if there were a clown in my house, I would find that a bit strange. I'd be like, well, you're not scary, but you need to leave my house.
Well, I mean, there's several reasons why that would be scary. Well, I don't know if it's because a clown is randomly in your house.
Well, like I
was going to say, actually, clowns are terrifying, man.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you just wipe that off your face, like, and you gotta take a shower. And what's with that weird hair you got?
No, man. No,
I'm gonna hose you down.
Have you ever seen the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No, that's probably why I don't find them scary. Is that why you find them scary?
No, I've been scared of clowns since they killed my father, Wolf. No, that's why I'm scared of clowns. Thanks for asking.
I'm sorry to bring that up.
God.
I thought he was killed by a clown from space. Is that even a real movie?
Yeah,
Killer Clowns from space.
From outer space.
From outer space.
Okay. We gotta clarify what kind of space it is. By the way, Protoss is taking the third here. This is interesting. He's just getting the additional gateways.
Yeah, this is not what I expected.
There's no like definitive tech here.
He's just kind of skipped it.
I'm not seeing it. So this is interesting because Zerg technically could have denied this from happening.
Yeah.
No, normally the reason why we see the Stargate opening here. Sorry, I'm still thinking about how clowns killed my father. That's not appropriate for Wolf to talk to me about on TV. The reason why people do the Stargate opener is is because it keeps the Zerg on lockdown. They get to harass the Zerg, almost always guaranteed drones.
Yeah.
If the Protoss is good at what they're doing at all, they're going to get some drones. And then if the Zerg tries to counterattack, they deny the Protoss. I mean, the Zerg tries to counterattack the air units in combination with the wall-off can deny that from being effective. So
yeah.
In this case, I'd say Trap's being a little bit greedy here, but it seems like he pulled a fast one on Sue here.
Yeah, I don't think
Sue was behaving as if eventually just Stargate Tech was going to attack him.
Yeah.
Or if not that, then clearly it's going to be some kind of 2-base timing or a robo build or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder how he's going to respond. I mean, he's making a bunch of roaches right now in Lings. He might just try to hit a Speedling roach timing to attack, but this base is so easy to defend for a Protoss player on this map if you can control that high ground. Also, if you can, like, kill the tower and then keep the Zerg out of your base. He has to walk the long way around, which is only 2 force fields to block. He's even making a spine core right now. I think he's, like, scared that a Blink Stalker timing is going to hit him or something off of these bases.
Yeah, he's definitely prepared for something that is not coming. So, if the Zerg over-prepares for whatever timing attack he believes is going to be coming at him, he's going to be in a bad spot. Now we should see a force field here. And if I'm Trap, I'm just going to macro up. I'm going to wait and I'm going to watch. I'm going to look for when is that 4th base being taken.
Yeah, he actually still has no idea. I thought for a while he didn't see it, but he had eventually seen it. But he still doesn't know. So he's like playing super defensive. He's getting burrow right now, and he started his drones back up again. But this is awesome for Trap because he gets away with so much economy here. He's up to 60 harvesters on 3 bases this early, where he's getting so much extra mineral income. That's how he's able to power up those gates. Now this Overseer's going to come over here and he's going to click on the mineral patch and be like, oh, you've had that for a while.
Yeah, you had this for some time now. And I don't think there's really a whole lot that Sue's going to be able to do, but just try to keep up with Trap here. The Changeling coming in here to do some scouting. I think by now Sue's figured out that in fact Trap just did a quick little 3rd base. And by the way, this is not something like, let's say Protoss are doing this for a week or 2 here. It's going to go away very quickly. Oh my God!
Well,
okay,
that's
he
a
got
good
in
recall.
there.
Can he force field some of those earlies out? He gets
nicely done.
Most of them are trapped outside. He can just warp in a unit or 2 at home and defend this, and he does do exactly that. And 3rd base is exposed, though.
Is he going to go for the Nexus here at the 3rd? I would think so. He's getting the cannons, but okay, he goes ahead and turns around. Oh, very nicely done here by Trap.
Trap, staying true to his name here, is going to catch all these roaches right now. And he's going to lose, like, a century or 2, but this is still a really good trade for him, and his economy is still way better than Sue would like it to be. He kind of just gets away with it.
Yeah, I can see what Sue is thinking, running south and trying to hit that 3rd base. But really, when you have sentries out like that, it's not worth the risk. Unless he's going to target down the Nexus, which I don't think would have worked in that case. I think there's enough damage there that he would have been fine. But unless he's going to do something like that, it's just not really worth it. Now we have Trap coming in here with the Warp Prism. Let's see how effective this is actually going to be. I actually don't know if Trap should be doing this.
Yeah, this is like a lot of Hydras, but he's got some sentries to force field, though. I mean, if he's really this confident, his force field micro.
Is he going to just get up into the main? That's another option here. If he gets up in the main, I think this game actually goes to Trap. He just force fields the ramp. He has. Oh no, did the Warp Prism go down?
No, he's still in there.
Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. I thought for a second I was like, what? So he warps in more units, and now the sentries just wait at the ramp. He's going to lose the main.
He has to counterattack.
And I don't think the counterattack is going to work. I think it should be very clear right now to Trap as to what's going on. I think Trap's got this one in the bag, man.
I think he does too, but let's see how much damage he gets done at the natural, because he's going right for that. He's ignoring the 3rd base. I mean, this whole main base is dead. The whole tech is going to be reset as well. But there's a few units warped in here at home. That Robotics Bay is not done. It's all about his micro here and how many reinforcements he's able to warp it. I think he's fine. I think this game is over.
Yeah, the counterattack was probably the best choice out of all the bad, possible choices.
Yeah, I mean, there was no good choice, but there was a best choice, and this was it. But it's still not. It's still not the choice that's going to get him back in this game. He has a concave here at the top of the ramp, so this Zerg unit's not going to get anything done. Sorry, Hydras.
Zerg did get the 4th base up, but it's not operational. There's nothing mining there. So, from here, there's really not anything that Sue can do because he can't keep his 4th base safe. If he leaves with everything, then Protoss in the main just walks down the ramp. And it takes up the 2nd, and that's where the majority of the tech is.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's actually just trying to pick off some units at the front. He's even got a queen in this army. This base should be killable. He's going to at least force the Stalkers out of their defensive position at the natural. I mean,
is he going to get the Nexus here? I wouldn't be surprised if he does, because he could very simply just come down here with the rest of his army, and that's what he's going to do. Yeah. Sandwich this.
Yeah. I mean, this is just a disaster. I mean, he's lost way too much. He only has 46 harvesters. The Pross is like just playing with him here at this base. He could even maybe blink up out of the base and go home with his Stalkers. There's only 3 sentries in that army.
It's like a cat playing with a mouse it caught.
Like, yeah, like coyote playing with something, tossing in the air.
Do coyotes do that?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think I read that coyotes actually play with their mice, like cats do. I mean, not mice and like hawks or whatever they eat. Not hawks, doves. Whatever birds coyotes eat, man, I don't know. I don't know about coyotes that much. I'm a little more about wolves, to be honest.
You put yourself out there on the line with that one, Wolf, with your coyote knowledge, man. I mean, you know what, guys? This is actually very similar to our first game.
Yeah, it's just like he's sticking around.
I mean, we have one player that's just dead. I mean, there's just not much that he can really do. It would take Trap making some enormous blunder, which would be, I think, not really a thing I can imagine happening.
Yeah.
Because of the caliber of player that Trap is.
I mean, look at this force field. It cuts the army again into fractions here.
You know, he's being very smart about these force fields. He's letting small numbers of units up so he can just, you know, pick them off.
I almost wonder if, like...
Now, he's got blink here, too, so he can actually just blink out when the army finally does decide to come up the ramp.
I feel like Sue is, like, in this game for this...
All right, GG.
I was going to say, I feel like he was in the game for the same reason Trap was in the first game. He's just like, let me think about this for a little bit, like, while I prepare for what map I want to pick for Game 3. You know, sometimes we occasionally have a player who just, like, does not leave the game and, like, scans all the bases and sees, like, how many gateways are there, and, like, okay, and then they'll leave the game. But in this case, it was just kind of, like, still there.
I mean, I think I'm interested actually in seeing what map Sue's going to pick here, because honestly, I do think, you know, look, Trap played very well in that last game, but he did win that based off of a very sneaky move. Yeah. Okay, he just took a third.
Was never scouted.
That was never scouted. It was never contested. If Trap keeps doing builds like that against Zerg, I don't know how long he'll last. I'm fine with him doing it in this game because he pulled a fast one on his opponent and it worked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a little bit of coaching here coming in by a SK Telecom coach. Just comes in and talks.
Pick a good Zerg map. All right.
Yeah, I think he's going to pick Ultrazeme. What would you pick?
I would pick Ultrazeme, personally. If Tasis was Zerg against Trap in the GSL and he was good with Zerg, he would pick Ultrazeme.
Yeah. That's why I asked you, Tasis, because I knew you knew the answer.
I knew the right answer. Let's see if he does that, though.
Trap looks pretty pensive here, meanwhile.
Yep.
I think, like, winning a game like that gives you a mental edge over your opponent because you got away with what you did, and then you just...
Well, but both these games are a bit weird because, like, in Game 1, Trap did a build, I guess shouldn't have worked. Frost, okay.
Frost, another
not what we expected.
Another good map for Zerg, though.
Yeah, it's not a bad map for Zerg, that's for sure.
It looks like Suze doesn't want to play that late-game Mutalist style. Would rather feel more comfortable playing just more reactionary to his opponent on a 4-player map. That
sure.
Could be cross spawns. High chance of that.
All right, and that game is going to be starting momentarily here. Again, we're here in Group D. Group C has not happened, in case you're confused, by the way.
Who do you think's getting out of this winners, or who's going to winners match here between these two? Who do you get the edge to?
You know what? I think Sue will, just because he picked the map, and the way that Trap's been playing, he did one build that I thought maybe would work, because I thought, okay, maybe the Colossi can go up, you know, into the main and stuff, and they could, but clearly, if Zerg just gets enough units, they run over a build like that. And then in game number 2, the build Trap worked. Technically, it could have just been denied easily by Sue, but Sue didn't check for it. So I feel like Sue right now is playing a little bit more solid, but we'll see how he does here on the map Cross. This is game number 3. The winner goes on to the winners match here in Group D of the